me see. See if I can do this here. This is the fly. That I made to catch this like really nice trout first bite. It was a very successful fly, and I find that the simple flies are the best ones to catch with. Alright, so I'm going to tell you how to do it. Here's what you need: some thread, some rust colored squirrel tail. I'm going to use synthetic craft fur, some copper flash, some rusty brown ice dubbing, some wire for like to go around the deal, some weight. All right, real simple. This is lead free 0.2 round wire. All right, very simple. And then I barely bent the hook here. Let's see. See if we can. Here, let me see. Maybe this will work better. But it's just barely bent. Okay. And what you do is you get the lead wire, and you don't have to put that much. It's kind of a keel weight, gets it kind of riding hook point up. And there's some other things about fishing this fly that you do. And one of the things you do is you fish the knot of the weight. You also tie a knot. This is a fairly weedless. Oh, this is a size 4 Mustad O'Shaughnessy. This is a good hook, and I fished the bigger one, a bigger one. I think it was a 1 or a 1/0, and it just no attack. So apparently this is the size. You can't make it any bigger than and be effective. So what we're going to do now is we're going to tie some wire around here to boy, hats off to whoever recommended this Peak Vice to me. Okay, boy, I like this thing, man. So yeah, I like just to do this here and then kind of rotate this around and then just get everything kind of, probably not doing it right, but just kind of get everything nice and tight. This is a small fly, and what's significant about this is this fly fished very well with like in the weeds, and then with a floating weed bed. If you haven't seen my video on that speck, it was a nice speck on a 6-weight fiberglass rod. This thing throws real well on that rod. My rod's an Orvis Superfine. Okay, so all right, so here we go. We got it. Let's break it off. And I like to save these little wires here. Most people throw them. I just put them in my little tool caddy there. And then what I'm going to do now, God, I can't really go towards. I got a German. You hear my German Shepherd. He's like in tribal pack mode. And my little. I have a dog. I have a Shih Tzu that's in heat, and she's like a freak Shih Tzu. She like, my wife thought she was cute, but apparently she's like a brother sister offspring. So she has some deformities, and when we got her, she didn't go into heat, and so now we take some of this, okay. Some of this wire, and all this wire is for protection. Okay, you know, in any roughness out there on the ground. So take about this much here. Probably not, that's probably too much, but you just need to, and then just kind of do a little L, and then tie it right here. This is a very simple fly. Okay, and then fold that tag end over. Okay. All right, and this is the most complicated part of the fly here. Okay. Okay, and this is you take some of this rusty brown ice dubbing, and you're just going to put it on the hook and put it on the thread, and I like kind of shred it a little bit, and just a little bit, man. And you know, you don't even have to use you know, you could probably put it on where it's a little more hairier. So like when I put this stuff on and I see it's kind of going on, kind of bunched up, I kind of pull it and do a twist, and then have it go around. And that's another reason for the wire. Here, let me let Ace go outside here. Hold on. So this German Shepherd that we got, he's a rescue. Supposedly a veteran, but he just didn't cut it. So yeah, just take this ice dubbing, and he didn't really cut it as far as like a police dog or whatever, MP dog or something. He's kind of, I mean, I don't know what his deal is. I mean, he's a nice dog. It's just, you know, I'm more of a sporting breed. I like, you know, to go bird hunting and stuff, you know. And he's a nice dog, and I like him. He's a very faithful companion. I know he makes my wife feel safe when she's here by herself. So that's important too. See, now I made this too big here, so we need to kind of that's what helps this with the wire too. You know, helps the amateurs flies look better. See, I can see. You got to spin that around a little more. Okay, this is a good fly, man. I mean, nice, simple saltwater fly, and I'm sure this will work on bass. So yeah, so look how simple this is getting. Okay, all right, so take it and okay, and we're recording, and then you do, oh, let me undo this because we don't want to unwrap. This, I've never had a vise like this before. So yeah, you take that, spin it around, and this just helps give it some durability. You know, little copperish, extra copperish kind of. And I think that this is just. So we got that. Okay, and then the magic is, okay, so just tighten, make sure that's nice and tight. And I do the same with this a little, because you never know when you need a little piece of wire. So, you know, if I got a little spot in my pool caddy, man, I just roll that sucker up, man. And saves you from having to break out materials, you know. Some of this small stuff comes in handy. You just kind of make a little loop like that, and just put it in your little tool caddy and save it for another day. All right, so now we got that worm looking deal. All right, next thing is you take, and this is, I like this red. Gold's okay. I think the red copper is better. Okay, and what I do is I take about 3 long strands. Okay, and I'm using squirrel tail, like rust colored squirrel tail or something like that. And but I got some craft fur that I'm going to try with this fly. Not that the squirrel tail isn't bad, there isn't any good. Okay, so I got about 3 to 4 strands. Okay, and then you chop it off. Okay, and then so here we go. We got okay. So we got this. And then we have okay. Then we got this. So we got about 8 strands total. Okay, and so that's going off, and you might have to trim that. All right, and that's it. That's we're about 2/3 done with this fly. Maybe yeah, maybe 3/4 way. All right, so next you got to kind of take some of this longer fur. All right, you don't want to go too much, but on the ends there. All right, so and this is why the number 4 is perfect, man. It's perfect for this because that's about how long the fur is on this. And the thing about this squirrel tail is that it's a little, it's not really as abrasive as let's get this. You don't really need that much. Okay. Okay, so we got, here's the squirrel tail. Okay, boom. All right. So let's go ahead and true up those ends there. Okay. Kind of bevel them a little bit. Okay. So now. Okay, and I like going ahead and spinning this thing around because you need to get some bite on this squirrel tail because it doesn't really, okay, it doesn't really bite down real well. Okay, so there it is. We're almost done. And here a couple of things about this fly is that I actually did really well with not getting okay, let me go ahead and trim a little bit of this back here, a little bit. Okay, okay, all right, so this isn't a very pretty fly, but let's see if we got it here. All right, so whip finish it, and there's a couple things I like to do with this fly here. I like to overkill it, and this looks pretty good right here. Okay, so just kind of make it real durable, and what I like to do is go ahead and trim it real close. Okay, so what we want to do is make this profile like really weedless. Okay, so everything looks good. But also, well, we can use some brown here. We'll try using some brown. Just kind of color it up a little bit on the brown there. Nah, I've been using, I'll stick with what works, man. I'll get some black Sharpie and just kind of color that thread up a little bit. All right, and then I forgot the name of the and I'm gonna go ahead and put some And there's absolutely no reason why you can't throw this at some river bass or something. Because you know it could. So now we just got like some black going on there, okay? And but everything that looks good. But I like to put some dots of some UV flash here, just to kind of like boom, boom, boom. Okay, now we're going to kind of work that in a little bit. Alright, we're going to kind of work that little, I want this one. Kind of make sure that that little, okay, because the reason you want that little dot right there is because that helps it, that helps it ride weedless. That little extra bump there. Alright, and you got a little bump right there on top, and now it's kind of worked its way around, but you want that bump on the top to act as a hook deflect, okay, and that's all it really needs. You just deflect it away from weeds, get the weeds to pop up, and you tie, and I can't remember the name of the knot, but this is a simple fly, but you know, it's well thought out, man. I thought it out well, you know. It's called the bend back penny. All right, and you know, these simple flies, they ride good. They do good. So yeah, that little dot there, it's a little bump, kind of push everything away from that point, you know, except free up the hook there for a nice hungry trout or a red drum or something like that. Just a little bump. That's all you need. And that hook point's right there, and that bump's a little higher. That's all you want. And fish this in the flats, weed beds. I mean, you're going to get a little bit of weeds, but that little bump helps. All right. So, and I wouldn't even waste time putting eyes on this thing, because it works without it. Okay. You throw this sucker on a clear morning, clear, cold, non-windy morning, with the tide coming in. But all this little bump around there, that all helps. All right, and I tied this where I'm not even going to need to burn it. Okay, it looks good. Looks good. Look at that. All right. So that's the bend back penny, and you know, and that could, I guess that little dot could look like eyes, but that thing there, man. Well, here let's see what we got here to. Here, let me use these just to kind of show it off instead of my fingers here. All right. It's a bend back penny there. So let's get a little close.